Again, it's Netanyahu's own words dating back to the 1990s. You say that Israel helps us with intelligence. Okay, well, I wonder where we got our intelligence that Iraq had nuclear weapons.
No,
Yeah.
but
or weapons of mass destruction.
There was no intelligence. It was a lie. We knew it was a lie.
But where did that lie come from?
So let's believe them this time. We knew they lied last time and we did it anyway, so let's do it again. That's good logic, Jillian. Good point. Good point. We knew they were lying when we went and did it last time. We just, they wanted to make a little money. So, they were evil, but whatever. Let's move on. And this time we'll do it again. We'll do it again and we'll just act shocked whenever this one turns out bad too. Sure, why not?
It came from Cheney. And
it wasn't just Cheney. Cheney in the very, very, very beginning.
All those neocons knew they didn't have WMDs.
Let me just finish my point.
Okay.
Cheney there's a really great book about this. Okay, if you guys want to read, and it's full of evidence. So it's called The Israel Law.
None of them can read.
Okay, in the very, very, very beginning of this whole debate about whether or not the United States should do a preemptive war in Iraq, Cheney wasn't convinced, believe it or not. But he was eventually convinced with the intel, allegedly, that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq.
I read another book called Provoked, written by Scott Horton, and his argument is that Cheney wasn't convinced until Halliburton was bankrupt. There's an oil component. Get into the whole mix. So there's differing.
This is the problem with reading too many books. Because you read a book and you hear somebody's opinion, and because you read it in a book, you start thinking it's a fact. Like, I can write a bunch of opinions too, and all I got to do is get you to read them, and now they become fact.
Perspectives on this. I would simply ask you, Iran, you don't see them as a threat. They didn't come to the table. They had an opportunity to.
But they, Jill, they did. They did come
We've
to
had
the
60
table.
days.
The gaslighting on this
But this guy, Scott Horton, said they didn't, and I read it in a book.
issue is unbearable, and it's very reminiscent of the gaslighting that took place in the lead up to Iraq.
Why are they the top state funders of terror?
I think Iran
It's like she might as well just say, don't you watch Fox News? They tell us all this.
Poses a national security threat to Israel.
Don't agree with you.
They do, though.
That is true, right?
No, to Israel and they destabilize the entire Middle East. The Saudis can't stand them. The Qataris can't stand them.
Look.
As if any country in the Middle East is allied with Israel. They forget this point. They like to make it like Iran is enemies with all these people, but they have alliances in the Middle East. They do, or they wouldn't have survived. Israel has no alliances. All they have is Big Brother to come kick everybody's butt when we piss off the little brother. That's all it is. Do you name an ally that Israel has where they really like Israel and they wouldn't really like to see them get taken off the map? Name one.
Listen,
Do you understand what she just said? She's bringing a very good point to the table.
Israel and said, we want to expand. What if, in my dream world, and I am not saying you are wrong, there's a very good chance that you're right. I'm simply trying to open up the possibility that Trump doesn't want forever wars. He hasn't engaged in regime change to date. Okay?
Okay, now, you see where we're at now. So from this point forward, anything Jillian says, we can disregard because she's a fucking moron. She couldn't see what we were all saying, and here you are. Now we're there, so shut the fuck up.
That now his goal is to win a peace prize. He's trying to expand the Abraham Accords.
I think he gave up on that. I don't think he sees that. I think unless he makes some threats, he's not getting that.
Syria reached out to Israel and said, we want in.
You can't bomb all girls schools and then get a peace prize.
Does it free up that region to stabilize things with these, I'm sorry, bad actors and evil regime, arguably defanged?
Yeah. Afghanistan is currently governed by the Taliban.
You're not wrong.
Okay. In Syria, we have a former ISIS and Al Qaeda agent now leading that country. And then in Libya, you want to talk about destabilizing the Middle East? No.
Yeah, we helped out those Libyan people a long time ago too. I remember whenever we invaded Libya, even we helped them out. How are they doing now? Are they successful in having democracy like we did? Like we went there to do? Did we bring them democracy? How are they doing now?
No country has destabilized the Middle East on Israel's behalf than the United States of America by overthrowing Gaddafi in Libya. By the way, that happened under Obama. This is not a Republican or Democrat thing. Both parties are complicit or actively involved in the regime.
It really makes me happy to hear a Democrat say that. I disliked the Young Turks for a long time, and I'm still not fully on board with them. They're still too liberal for me. But it is good to see that they're at least admitting that their party has some concerns with this too. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. This is not left versus right. This is Zionist versus not Zionist. You may have to ally with some leftists before. We got to get this foreign influence out of our government. That is the cancer that's got to be removed.
regime change wars that have cost American lives, cost American resources. And I just ask that we maybe think this through a little more before we start beating the war drums.
But what, hold on, I just want to say again that I'm an isolationist. I think that if
We're already not listening to you.
for most Americans, they can't even pick Iran on a map, we should not get involved. Like, this is not our business. That is my point of view. I want to wash my hands of the situation. I don't want to get involved. That said, Anna, respectfully, you fail to mention that the people who, like, for example, the Taliban, it's a moderated version of the Taliban, who has made concessions. Also, the guy from Al Qaeda.
Oh, okay, that's
I understand they're bad, but it's a less bad version. We have to acknowledge that, though, because the guy who is now running Syria, he has made attempts and has very vocally said that I am not who I used to be.
Right.
I'm reformed. I just want to say that. This is not like your pure version of Al Qaeda. It's not the Taliban of your grandfather, so to
The
speak.
United States should not be in the business of carrying out regime change wars anywhere.
Is this
period?
that, though, or is it
I agree with that, but
defanging
Trump
a
is not
global
going
threat?
to because he
That is
ran
the
on
question.
America
Look,
first.
We're
making
right of the regime
predictions.
change thing. I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay.
I'm just saying, is
So-
this that? Because they are pretty freaking scary.
Well, that's the first video that you were going to play, right? That was where he was trying to appeal to people's emotions because he knows that people are against child brides. They're against all of these things. So, of course, that's going to be the main rhetoric used when putting out this video.
I just don't think that's our business.
I don't
Why do
think
we need
that's
to
the
get
rhetoric.
Exactly.
The rhetoric is they are the freaking top funders of Hamas, Hezbollah, the Shia militia. I mean, the list goes on and
Then
on.
let's let
They
Israel
were
deal
this
with it.
close
Thank you, Lindsay.
to
That's all I'm
having
asking. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, then we're in agreement about this.
Let
then.
Israel handle it. I don't think the United States taxpayers should fund that war. And I don't think, look, if they need defensive support, okay, fine. But
Nope. I'm off on that one too. Nothing.
no boots on the
We
ground.
already provided that with
and
Iran.
absolutely
What else
no
do we
more
need to do?
American
Fair.
taxpayer money. Israel
I
should
agree
pay
with
for
you.
its own bombs.
I agree with you. Why don't you just say it at the beginning?
So you have a problem? Do you have a problem with the fact that currently the United States funds Israel's wars? We provide them over $3 billion a year in military aid. Do you want that to come to an end?
So, no, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because what you're doing is a disservice to
Because Adam needs his allowance.
all the other countries that the United States gives money to.
No, I disagree.
We give money to Palestine. We give money to Egypt. We give money to every single
Palestine?
country in the world.
Currently, is
And I say stop all that too. Yeah, we should stop all of that. It's not an excuse. Oh, we help other countries too. Those other countries are third world countries. We help Congo and places like that. We don't help countries that have a surplus of money and have UBI and fucking free healthcare. That's not what we should be doing. We shouldn't give any money to countries that are succeeding already on their own. Well, not really on their own. We've been financing it, but we pay for them to have those nice things that we can't have.
Israel
go
is
on.
carrying out ethnic cleansing.
And Adam's fine with that. He just said he wants that to continue, of course, because his parents live there.
A
Establish a
genocide
rule.
of Palestinians. So I
Right,
mean,
a genocide.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is a genocide.
And there's no other
Yeah.
genocides going on in the world. It's just
We don't
Israel.
fund those
Wait,
genocides.
instead
We
of-
fund this
Pretty
genocide.
sure we fund a lot of
this
things right here.
genocide.
Instead of just
So-
blaming everything on Israel, though, can we
No,
also
that's-
wait,
that's
hold
what
on,
I know.
wait, can I just
really
don't
hold
like.
on? Can I
Because
let me
all
finish
those
that point?
things you mentioned, we were behind. I just want to be
right.
clear.
That's not Jill. You bring up a really good point. Let me expand on that. Instead of just throwing everything and scapegoating Israel for all the problems under the sun, why not look at our own military-industrial complex and ask why are we, not just Israel though, in Ukraine, billions of dollars gushing all around the world.
Right.
And instead of blaming
Because they have to buy weapons too. And like the people making the decision, they have stock in weapons companies. Yeah. War is good for the people that have stock in that kind of shit. That's very simple. It's easy to see.
Israelis for this, why not ask the defense contractors who are constantly lobbying our senators and congressmen
That's
for
a problem
additional
too,
funding,
yeah.
right?
That's
So
a
it's
problem
not
too.
just not all Bibi. Okay?
It's not all
He's a
Bibi,
problem, but he's not the only problem. We also have to look here at
But
home.
it is a happy marriage when you have the government of Israel pushing us to fight a war, and when you have defense contractors who see a profitable opportunity to exploit that situation on their behalf. And this is the same thing that keeps playing out over and over again. Again, I'm just asking.
This is the definition of the deep state. That's what this is. This is the deep state that we elected Trump to go and get rid of, right? He was going to drain the swamp. And then he was going to take every creature he found in the swamp and put them in his backpack. And now they're his fucking allies. That's the people. Lindsey Graham goes and has lunch with the president now, right? I bet you he wouldn't have done that while he was on the campaign tour. I bet you wouldn't have wanted to be seen with Lindsey Graham. But now they're buddies. Explain that.
Look at the evidence. Look at what Netanyahu has been saying for decades. Look at the lies that we're told about other Middle Eastern wars that we got dragged into. I want to prevent that. I want I want American soldiers to fight wars to defend the United States when it's necessary. I have not seen enough evidence, or any evidence really, to indicate that Iran is a national security threat to the United States.
America, what do you think they mean? Because I'm taking them at face value. I'm being honest.
Yeah. I mean, look.
What do you think a citizen in the streets of Iran saying death to America? What do you think they mean? They probably mean, hey, motherfuckers who keep bombing us and overthrowing our governments and getting us shittier leaders. Fuck you, die. That's probably what they mean, right? And that's what I would mean too if I had a country that was doing that to my country. That's exactly what I would mean. So I don't like hearing it, but I understand why they're saying it. They're saying it because we keep having shitheads that do things like Trump's doing right now. I can understand why they want to kill us. That's why we need to get someone like Massey in there so he can go and talk to Iran, maybe get us to become like some kind of a quasi-ally with them, or at least, a treaty where we don't interfere with each other's shit and just stay the fuck out of them. That's what we need to do. And I hope that ends poorly for Israel.
They want a pillow fight? What do they want? They're chanting death to America. What do you think they want?
Listen to me. I don't think that they favor the United States. Okay.
Favor.
But the idea
they're
they're chanting
death for America.
Right. I mean, people chant all sorts of things, but we're going to go to war.
They chant that here in America too. They chant all kind of crazy shit here in America. So we're going to bomb them too?
Saying is that Trump is not going to. I just don't think we need to see
minimizing the whole death to America.
I am minimizing it. I am minimizing.
Why is it that we have crazy people here who will don't even know what sex they are and they dye their beards blue and say they're a lady? We just act like that's fine, but they can't have a crazy person over there chanting it. Like just people out in the streets that are mad about shit. Why would that even affect us on a foreign policy level? Can you imagine in the president's count and they're sitting around talking, he's got his cabinet and they're talking about what they're going to do. And they're like, we have to do something about these people in Iran who keep saying death to America. We can't have that. Like seriously, is that why are you bringing that up in a debate? Like that's a fucking talking point. They say death to them. It's so fucking what? We have freedom of speech here, but you don't want to let other countries say what they want whenever we're doing bad shit to them.
So there we go.
I am minimizing it because I need to see actual evidence that they're carrying out acts. I just said attack against the United States, and there's no evidence of that.
Okay.
First of all,
so if you were America first, you would say, hold on, some countries trying to call for America's death. I wouldn't minimize that. I would actually take that at face value. And that's why Trump is behind Bibi Netanyahu on this, because you know what America First stands for? 3 things.
It really means
they're
of course. According to this moron, he's about to tell us what America First means to him. Israel's favorite son over here is going to tell us what America First means.
Okay? Anti-Marxist, anti-CCP, and ready for it? Anti-Islamic terrorism. So I know on behalf of Iran, what you're defending, Anna, for some reason.
I'm sure that when Lindbergh came up with that motto, I'm sure he was thinking about all the people in Libya and, Iran and all that. That's what he was thinking about, I'm sure.
And you're kind of advocating for Islamic terrorism. I actually believe Iran.
No.
I actually,
do not
hold on,
strawman me.
I'm talking,
I never
then you
said
go.
that.
America First does not mean we just bomb everyone we don't like anytime we can make up a reason to go bomb them. That's what we're doing. We are making up reasons to go bomb people so that we can get conquest. That's what this is. This is not for anything for America's benefit. This is to make some money for the people that got elected. That's it.
No, but I'm not going to let you lie about the argument I'm making. I never said that.
You just said you're okay with death to America.
I don't think people chanting things.
She said she's okay with other countries that we're blowing the shit out of saying that because, yeah, she understands why they would say that.
Chants justify hot wars.
What do you think? They're chants and then they're just like, they're doing pom-poms and they're rooting for a football game?
How far down the road?
Literally, we have to go bomb every country that says bad things about us. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to leave a little silence here so y'all can think about that for a second. We need to bomb countries because they say bad things about us. Okay.
They're trying to destabilize the West.
Wait, guys, we destabilize the entirety of the Middle East.
I guess in Israel, they don't know what sticks and stones may break my bones means, right?
I don't blame anyone for being angry with the United States over that.
But it is now
Iran is the sole
we have the Abraham Accords.
Of destabilizing the Middle East.
No.
Saudi knows it.
No.
By the way, here's a little fun fact for you.
You have to ask yourself what role they are playing.
If all the countries in the Middle East were actually against what Israel is doing, you would hear statement after statement after statement condemning Israel. I don't hear shit from the Emiratis. I don't hear shit from the Saudis. I don't hear shit from the Qataris, the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the Syrians. Syrians are cheering on Israel. So here's my question for you.
Bet they're not now.
It's a really good point.
All of Israel's enemies are cheering for Israel against Iran.
They're definitely on board.
And the people of Iran are cheering for Israel.
The Saudis
So you have a losing
Adam,
side. You're taking the 20% of an 80-20 issue. Best of luck.
You literally just made.
He just got that number backwards. This ain't 80-20 going your way, pal. This is 80-20 going the other way. I can show you polls. Most of America does not want this war at all, especially when they get to the gas pumps lately. Like, it's getting really unpopular now. Thank God those Fox News retards who watch it and just believe everything they see, they still got to go fill their gas tanks up. So they start to be like, hey, what the fuck? Eventually, they're going to come on too. Eventually, they'll figure it out.
My argument.
No,
Why do you think Israel pushed for regime change in these countries? They wanted to get rid of leaders that weren't friendly.
These very same, hold on, no, not
in
Saudi Arabia.
Qatar?
Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, they tried, but we failed.
You know who pushed for regime change in Syria? The Syrian people that overtook Bashar al-Assad.
Right.
Your arguments
that was a proxy
weak
war
and invalid.
that had the United States involved, Israel involved, Russia involved. That was a major proxy war.
If Russia gave two shits about Syria and had the wherewithal to do it, they would defend Syria and so would Iran. But because they're being flanked by Ukraine and Iran.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Russia just come out and say, because of Israel's little threat to send nuclear weapons towards Iran, Russia came out and said on the record that if you do, we're bombing you. So I kind of think that sounds like they're standing up for them a little bit, because the talk of nuclear explosions went away.
Iran is being defunded by Israel. Nobody can come to Syria's defense.
Israel should fight its own wars.
Now the people of Syria are going to have to decide
we shouldn't
who they
send
want to
any
lead
of our
them.
soldiers, and when we do, inevitably,
Anna, just say
I want to come
you're
back on the
Iran
show.
first. That's
no,
fine.
I'm not going to say it because I don't believe that.
Can we just stop and remember who the president is? Everyone is underestimating the strength of Donald Trump.
Giving us 5 minutes before we move on.
There's no way he's going to let himself be pushed around by anybody.
She's defending him. She's a leftist. She got kicked out of the Democrat Party.
Including
the final thing I'll say about this, and then we can move on, is we currently have a United States Congress that's nickel and diming the fuck out of Americans by focusing on cuts to Medicaid, SNAP benefits. In the meantime, we are sending tens of billions of dollars to Israel so they can fight their wars.
Yeah.
I had no idea when I was cheering Doge on that they were just clearing out money so they could go do this bullshit. I thought they were talked about sending us a rebate. Where's that rebate, Trump? Where's that rebate? Is it going to Israel now? Yeah, it looks like our rebate that we got from the Doge cuts is going to Israel, because I haven't heard any talk about it. Where's that money? I'm going to go check my mailbox. I don't think it's there.
Unacceptable.
Let me respond say one thing.
No,
I agree
it's
with you.
going to defense contractors, Lindy.
So
I don't give a fuck about defense contractors making more money. I think that's the problem.
So Lindy, let me say one thing. Let me say one
your own
thing.
argument.
She's saying exactly that it's not just.
It's priming our economic.
If you ever done a budget before,
no.
That money.
Do not make the mistake of thinking defense contractors fattening their pockets even more is somehow beneficial to the American people.
You just heard me make that. I'm just saying
it's
it's not. You're saying the money is going all the way overseas. I'm saying it's also coming back here.
She's trying to get you to see the role that we're playing.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know, but do you understand that it is a redistribution of wealth?
I'm isolationist. I don't want this happening.
I know, Lindy.
I don't want this thing that I'm arguing for right now. That's what you're saying. Just shut the fuck up then, because we're trying to get this to stop, and you're just in the way.
I'm going to direct this to you. I'm just going to direct it to the audience or in general, okay? This is a redistribution of wealth from working class Americans to defense contractors.
Absolutely.
I don't want it happening.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I mean,
I think he's a factor. I don't think he's the only factor.
Bibi likes to push false narratives about, this country's a big threat. American soldiers, go fight this war, go fight this war. Give me money, give me money, give me money. That's Netanyahu.
You have to give our people a little bit more credit than trying.
So two people are in a conspiracy here, right? And that's kind of what it is, what we're talking about. We're saying that they're paying the money to Israel. Israel's sending the money back to the defensive contractors who are in bed with the fucking politicians. You're just pointing at Israel and saying, you're just blaming Israel. No, we're saying the fucking politicians need to be rooted out too. We're claiming it's both. But yeah, Israel is the catalyst for this. If they go away, then those people can't do that. They'll just have to start trying to find some other country to sell their weapons to and get this sweetheart deal where it's guaranteed money you're getting back.
I do give our people credit, including the actual genuine America First crowd that does not want this war. They don't want this war. The left doesn't want this war. Actually, this is the one issue where it seems like there's some unity with contingents on both sides.
And the isolationists have teamed up to be basically anti-America.
The gays for Gaza. As if Israel is not the most feminist, most LGBTQ positive country in the Middle East. It's the only place you can go if you want to do the blow to you, I guess. That is what we're protecting. We're protecting the shit you're trying to pretend like is the gays for Gaza, as if that's some big thing. Yeah, no, bullshit. This is an obfuscation here. He's trying to make you think, oh, you're woke if you don't want to fight it for Israel. No, bitch. Israel are the woke people. They own Hollywood. They shoved woke horse shit down our throat of diversity and all this bullshit. And then they don't even do that with their own executives. Their executives are like 90% like Hebrew born. Let's put it that way. They do that and then tell you, you have to have diversity in everything you do. We're supposed to go support that because Adam says so.
That is absolutely the truth. The far left sees Jews as having all the white privilege and being the ultimate imperialists. And then the MAGA far right sees the Jews as being responsible for all of this. And it equals a real bad situation for the Jews. I'm being friggin' honest.
If you're
doing the same thing that they've done for years, they blame the Jews for everything. That's fine.
I'm starting to think that they're blaming them because they're doing a lot. At least the ones in Israel. Like, who should we blame? Who should we blame whenever Israel does a bunch of fucked up shit? Oh, you're just blaming the Jews again. No, they're secular. We're blaming Israel, not Jews.
Cool, that's your argument.
If you're concerned about anti-Semitism, because anti-Semitism is real, and it has increased. Hold on, it has increased significantly in the United States. You want to know why?
Yeah, tell me why.
When you see the slaughter of all those innocent kids in Gaza, and our government provides cover for it, and in fact funds it, that leads to a lot of rage among hardworking Americans who see their quality of life go down the drain as we're funding
and their gas bill go up.
a genocide.
Kids being killed.
Can we bottom?
And I would love to see Hamas leave.
Right, it's not about Hamas. Let's
Can we talk about
if Hamas would, in all fairness, listen, I agree with you. I agree with you.
No, you don't.
The other side, though, because there are two sides, why didn't Hamas just give the friggin' hostages back? Then there'd be no excuse.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought you agreed, though. Why are you asking that if you agree?
Hamas should have given the
Why don't you answer the question since you agree with Anna? Answer your question, Jillian. You just said you agree with Anna.
Hostages back 100%. But let's also acknowledge when there is a siege on Gaza, when there are Israeli and American, by the way, hostages being held captive by Hamas, they're not just starving those poor Palestinian civilians, they're also starving their own hostages. Let's also not forget about the fact that the IDF shot and killed 3 Israeli hostages themselves. They didn't ask any questions, immediately started firing, killed 3 people. We need to actually have an honest conversation.
Oh, but Israel's our greatest ally, so we don't even care what they do. Like, they can do whatever. It's only when Iran does it so we can go help Israel.
Well, I mean, they didn't ask any questions. They were literally shirtless, waving white flags, saying, we need help, we need help. They got shot and killed immediately. The IDF is super belligerent in how they're carrying out this war. They're killing a lot of innocent people. In the case that I'm outlining, I'm talking about 3 Israeli hostages. If you're not willing to be critical of Israel, I question how honest you're being about this whole situation.
I'm critical of Israel just like I'm critical of America.
Let's hear it.
Let's
hear it.
Hold on.
If America makes mistakes, I'll call them out. But
Name one.
I'm very pro-America, but we do make mistakes. If Israel makes mistakes, I'll call them out. But I'm very pro-Israel. I don't understand what you're doing when you're trying to be pro-Hamas and pro-Iran.
She just asked you to defend them killing those 3 people. Why did you change the subject? Answer the question.
Hold on.
When you strawman me, it makes this entire exchange fall apart.
So
I'm trying to have an honest exchange with you. I'm not
sure if he's smart enough, but I think he just strawmanned her just so he didn't have to answer that question. Because it got her worked up and she didn't focus. Hey, answer my question.
Words in your mouth, please don't put words in my mouth.
You can talk when I'm done talking, and that's how this will work. No?
But if you strawman me, and argue that I'm making arguments that I didn't make, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to interrupt you if you.
This is just like arguing with a woman. He hears what he wants to hear, and then whenever she says something, he'll just say whatever he wants her to have said so that he'll make a point for him. This is like arguing with your woman. I'm not even joking.
Lie about what I'm saying.
So you're a grown-up when you argue. Got it.
I am a grown-up, yeah.
See, passive-aggressive shit like that? Ladylike.
You seem very emotional, and I threw you a tissue just in case. I also have a tampon.
Oh, here, this is the tampon.
In case you need a tampon.
There you go.
Adam, she's going to beat the shit out of you.
That's fine. That's fine.
I thought that was the tampon before.
Listen, I'm not deterred by your ridiculous juvenile attacks. Let's have an argument about the actual facts.
Israel is fighting terrorists around the world. And in this one particular situation, why isn't Israel doing genocide in Lebanon? Why aren't they doing it in Syria?
Oh, let's look into the future. What have they just begun doing? Turkey's next. But what did they just start doing since they got this war? And they figured, hey, we'll just attack everybody. Because, you know, everybody hates us anyways. Let's just kill them all. That's their fucking mentality. They started a war with them immediately.
Why aren't they doing it everywhere else? Why is it only in Gaza? By the way, why is Gaza
because they want to clear
only...
Palestinians out of that land and take it. That's why.
And let's say that were the case, which it's not.
It is.
Why couldn't they do that? Because that's what everyone has done in that region for decade and after century.
Wait, why couldn't they do what?
The Islamization of the entire Middle East, who's the centerpiece of that? Okay?
These have been
Iran
Muslim majority.
Yep.
First of all, these have been Muslim majority countries forever.
And why is every Muslim country fighting with each other? Syrians fight with Syrians. 500,000 people died in Syria. 1 million people have died in Sudan. In Sudan.
They're complaining about it. They wanted to, they just can't.
I don't hear bo peep about any of that. But when Israel gets attacked on October 7th...
Let me point it out to you here, because I don't know if you know this, Ken. Israel has nuclear weapons right there. So they're not going to talk too loud. They're afraid of them. They're definitely afraid of Israel. Like, I'm positive of that. This was about in 25. It was in 2025 around June, I think. That's when this debate was. So, the fuck? Oh, there it is.
That's all you want to talk about. I'd give you a little bit more credit if you were talking about the Christians that are being killed in Syria. I'd give you a little bit more credit if you would talk about the millions of Muslims that have died around the Middle East.
He'll give you credit as long as you don't talk about Israel. As long as you don't criticize his favorite country, he will give you credit for stuff.
But you guys don't say shit unless Israel's involved. That's the problem I have with you.
Because we fund Israel's wars of aggression.
Okay, so just because we fund it, we're not allowed to talk about anything else? So we can't talk about the genocide of every other country?
You're allowed to talk about whatever you want, stupid, and that's what they're doing. They're talking about Israel because that's what's pissing them off.
Policy in different contexts all the time.
The only thing I've ever heard you talk about is Israel. You're obsessed with Israel.
Well, then you need to get to know me a little better.
Trump derangement syndrome, you have Israel derangement syndrome. And it's seeping out left and right.
And I guess all of America does right about now, too.
I hope and pray that you stop being so ignorant to the fact that Israel is defending America and American values against terrorists
How are they defending
around the Middle
America?
East.
How?
Let's say that Iran was a threat, which a lot of people think they are.
They are. That's not even hypothetical.
People think so. And I know there's a lot of credible and intelligent people who don't, right? And unfortunately, time's going to tell how this is going to play out.
I don't know too many credible or intelligent people.
I think they're a threat now. I think we made them a threat. I think we killed their leader that had a fatwa against nuclear weapons, and now his son, who's kind of pissed off he murdered his dad, I think he might just do it. And I don't know that I blame him for that. Like, I would probably do the same thing if you just killed my dad because he didn't want to have nuclear weapons and kept saying he did. I might want to fucking just be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get one. And what are you going to say to that? Are you going to say the wrong? If another country did that to us, wouldn't you think that way? If you were the new leader? I think you would.
Well, the argument on the other side is that Israel is doing the dirty work and getting demonized for it. That is the argument on the other side.
Also, Adam, can I also say a couple of conversations ago, Adam, you brought up something very interesting that we haven't even addressed. It's the Islamic terrorism and then Islamification of Europe and also America. If you're going to talk about...
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Wait,
yes,
I'm definitely not getting to know King's.
Let's talk about that.
I really appreciate everything you brought up. And, you know, the Israeli regime does deserve to be criticized on occasion. But we also have to look at this extreme threat of Islamic terrorism that is here at home. I mean, do I even need to mention 9/11? We just had a shooting a couple weeks ago against the Jewish community, right?
Our regime change wars have spurred Islamist groups like ISIS to pop up.
But you don't
what about
know
9/11?
that this is that yet.
Okay.
You don't know
All right,
that
so
yet.
then let's end it here.
She just slipped up. She just said, you don't know that yet. Which means we're going to know it, and we probably know it by now. This is insane. They just act like they don't know what's going to happen when they can see what's about to happen. That's happened 1,000 times before this. It's just baffling to me. Who wants to pretend to be an idiot so that they can look stupid in the future like they do right now?
Revolution started in 1979.
Let's end it here. Let me just say one more thing. Let me say one more thing.
Because we
play that
go
clip?
ahead.
When we inevitably get dragged into this war, when we inevitably end up spending tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions, if not $1 trillion, depending on how long that war with Iran lasts, will you guys come back on this show and at least admit I was right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Conversely,
hold on a
though,
second.
if
What's the
it
question?
ends
Say it again.
within 6 months, and Iran is defanged in the Abraham Accord, this is a pipe dream. I get it. But if it ends within 6 months, Iran is defanged. I don't know if there'll be a regime change. I have no idea. I haven't heard talk of that yet. Obviously, I know that we wouldn't be hearing that because nobody is for that. In fact, Trump denied involvement because it's so friggin' unpopular. I get it. But if in 6 months this is resolved, it's like Soleimani, it came, it went. Iran is defanged and the Abraham Accords are expanded. Will you admit that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, it's been 10 months. They said they were going to do it in 6. Jillian Michaels got rid of this show because she didn't want to do that. They are fucking pussies. They're not going to do it. They're not going to have a return show because I don't even think Jillian Michaels works there anymore. If I'm not mistaken, I think she quit.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is that Trump is not going to allow himself to be dragged in. I just don't think it's a possibility.
You have way too much. Look, I don't have that much faith in any politician.
I'm not saying, you know that I'm not.
I don't think Trump's going to let them drag him into that. Write that in the book.
What I'm saying is he ran on America first. He ran on isolation.
But guys, I just want you to remember one thing, because you brought up Yemen. I'm so happy you brought up Yemen, Adam. Thank you for doing that, okay? Because the United States assisted Saudi Arabia in fighting the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Who are, of course, backed by Iran. Now, did we beat the Houthis in Yemen?
It's still going.
It's still going. So I bring that up because if anyone is under the assumption that a regime change war in Iran is going to be a cakewalk, they have another thing coming.
Okay, but
who said cakewalk?
Them,
who said
and it
cakewalk?
made a huge difference.
It's going to be a massive endeavor.
He choked them out financially.
Which means that the U.S. is going to get dragged into that war, Adam. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Okay, so what you're arguing is a hypothetical, and I hear you on that. Nobody wants the United States to get involved in more wars. I'm with you on that.
Agreed.
Are you?
You're arguing a hypothetical as if it's fact.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I had with you. It's like, we can't have this. We can't want this.
I hate when he says he agrees with you and then he just goes and says the exact opposite of everything you said. It drives me nuts.
No. It's like, yeah, but it's not happening right now.
And it did not